So, the juicy world of polyamorous relationships. Polyamory is a topic that has been getting quite a bit of attention lately, and isn't it wonderful? Polyamory is great, but interestingly, even half a decade ago, I was not in accordance with nowadays myself. Honestly, the topic of polyamory never used to even cross my mind. Did you also used to be totally oblivious to the possibility of polyamory? Blame it on those lovey-dovey movies that made us believe in the whole one true love thing. You know, the idea that people are born as each other's perfect match and are destined to find each other, fitting into each other's lives like pieces of a fairy tale puzzle. I'd bet you anything that even nowadays, a whopping 90% of the Earth's population still firmly holds on to the belief that life's ultimate mission is all about discovering your true love, in the quantity of one, of course. And even when things aren't exactly panning out as good as you expected and your better half turns out to be, well, not exactly the knight in shining armor, most of us still don't consider the possibility that behind Juliet and Romeo, there might have been another someone in the mix. We're just a moment away from delving into Avenida Brazil's Triângulo Amoroso, but before that, let's define polyamory. Polyamory is openly, honestly, and consensually loving and being committed to more than one person. I really like this definition from Reddit. Don't mix up polyam with polygamy. That's when one person has multiple partners, usually wives, you know what I mean. So polyam is all about building connections and love that can extend beyond the boundaries of a single partnership. Now that we've got that squared away, let's dive into these juicy details of this love triangle from Avenida Brazil. You don't need to know the whole backstory to get into my video. As you might have guessed, it's a TV series. It aired more than a decade ago, but we're not really interested in the series itself. Rather, we're focusing on a representation of polyamory in it. A very beautiful and unique one, I must say. As I said, the story is really juicy, especially for someone like me who always falls for straight fans. Now picture this, we're back in the early 2010s in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It's a big city, and yeah, Brazil is not exactly the most homophobic place, but we're still in the 2010s, you know. Here comes our main guy. His name's Ronnie, he's gay, and he's kind of in the closet. He lives with his dad and he's best friends with Leandro, who is straight. Leandro is the type of guy who's very attractive and really enjoys up with girls. These two have known each other since forever, since childhood, and guess what? The gay guy is head over heels for his straight buddy. Complicated, right? It is never explicitly said that Honey is gay, but the way he looks at his friend, you know, there's something in his eyes. His whole behavior with his straight friend tells everyone who's watching that he's 100% gay. Meanwhile, the straight dude Leandro is busy chasing after Swellen. This is what always happens to us. Poor gay guys who always fall for their straight friends. Swellen is a smoking hot girl from Bolivia, and she's all about flings and stuff. Here's where it gets interesting. Swellen is into Leandro and they have been together. I mean, they've folked, you know, folked up many times, but she's playing it as though there are no feelings. She likes to exploit guys and then leaves them. You know, she enjoys the fun of dating and being with different people without seeking anything serious or long term. And get this, she's been around the block with all sorts of guys, except one, Honey, the gay dude who's not exactly out and proud. He's quietly unresponsive to Swellen's advances, which is creating apparent tension between them. A turning point arises when Swellen faces legal trouble and potential deportation. Leandro, committed to helping her, suggests marriage to secure her stay, but she declines. Probably out of pride or not wanting to seem vulnerable, you know what I mean? Unexpectedly, Honey, the gay guy who has never fought with Swellen. So Honey steps in with the same proposal and they tie the knot. This deeply wounds Leandro, who now feels betrayed by his closest and closeted friend, by his friend's marriage to the woman he once courted. So the gay guy marries the straight girl. Sounds nightmarish, right? This is exactly what fans of the show in 2010 were complaining about. They accused the director of exploiting the idea of a so-called gay cure. Everyone wanted to see a gay romance, or at least bromance. Before we go on, I want you to answer a very simple question for yourself. If you're a gay guy in love with your straight friend, or maybe you're a girl or non-binary person, in love with someone where or it's a forbidden fruit. Here's the question: what sacrifices would you consider making? Hypothetically, what would you sell, betray, or risk to be with this person you're falling for? Who now feels like you're alpha and omega? I'm all falling for someone. This feeling is the best and most pleasant one a human can experience. Your love for this person is as insatiable as it is impossible, but right now, impossible is possible. I know it's not super healthy to try to reach your straight friend, but it's just a mind game, okay? So what would you do to have this person love you the same way you love them? I'm asking because the story I'm telling you today is not about the gay guy who was cured by the woman, no way. It's about selflessness the gay guy Honey demonstrates. See, Honey's marriage to Swellen is rooted in his love for Leandro. He knows Leandro's affection for Swellen and doesn't want him to lose her to deportation. The girl had already said no to Leandro, so here comes the last chance, Honey. This is nothing but self-sacrificing, for real. Do our straight friends deserve it though? Probably not. After I watched it, I started asking myself, would I be able, being 100% androsexual, aka gay, would I be able to do the same for my best friend if I'm in love with him? And I used to be in love with a straight friend. This is why I'm making this video, by the way. But I'll tell you later about my situation. It's even juicier. So Honey's love to Leandro leads him to marry Swellen. Like the gay guy's love for his straight friend leads the gay guy to marry a girl. I think it's all about the complexities of human emotion and relationships. Hey, where's the love triangle, the polyamory you promised you were going to talk about? So far I only can see that Leandro has no idea that Honey is gay, and Leandro's love Swellen is married to his friend, so the straight guy is just left disappointed. Okay, the most interesting part of the story is about to come now. Swellen, being really schmax addicted, Swellen managed to get Ronnie into her bed in that very sense. Oh my god, she fooled him. And I know it's probably even worse than it used to be. The gay guy Honey and the girl Swellen Falk. Like, what is this? It all seems like the gay character is being portrayed as cured of his orientation by a woman. Naturally, many fans back in 2010 accused João Manuel Carneiro of promoting ideas that are harmful to the LGBTQIA+ and plus community. I strongly disagree with these accusations, and here's why. This girl Swellen, her very presence in the situation is the only option for Honey, the gay guy who's in love with his friend and his friend is hopelessly straight. So Swellen is the only option for Honey to be with Leandro. There wouldn't have been anything between Honey and Leandro if there hadn't been Swellen. I do know what being in love with your straight friend feels like. This is extremely hurtful, and probably the most awful part is your realization that you'd never be together, because guys who are into girls are rarely turned into gays. Gynodexual is the opposite of androsexual, right? Straight is the opposite of gay. Hey, so what was next in this series? A roller coaster of twists and turns, ups and downs, but astonishingly, against all odds, a happy ending emerges. This girl Swellen and the gay guy Honey propose to Leandro. So the three remain together and start crafting their own happily ever after. The most beautiful part, oh my god, I enjoyed it so much. That was so sweet. Was when Swellen got pregnant. And the boys were like, oh my god, we're going to be the fathers. We are going to be the fathers. The plural in this sentence is... That's so sweet, girl. Maybe I'm so excited about the whole thing just because I fell for Thiago Martins. He is totally crushing the series. And of course, I was happy about the fact that Leandro said yes to the proposal. He had learned that Honey was gay and in love with him, like in the middle of the series. Swellen told him when they were quarreling or something. First, the straight guy Leandro got mad, he even got furious. But turns out he gave a shot to the idea of forming a close connection with a man. So sweet. My dreams are coming true in this series. But he's not against forming a close connection with a man, but only when a girl is present. Anyways, Leandro was not completely hopeless. He was not completely confined to a heterosexual orientation. He transitioned to a state of hetero-flexibility. I think he still leans more towards gynodexuality, straightness. But anyways, he's expanded his understanding of his own sexuality. He became more fluid and flexible rather than being confined to a rigid heterosexuality. And sure thing, Samantha could not pass by a story of a straight man turning bi or heteroflexible. I love this kind of stories. Fans also expressed disappointment regarding the absence of hugs, kisses, and intimate moments between the two male characters. Personally, I believe that the scene where the trio explains their complex love triangle to Honey's father suffices. Leandro's stance in this conversation is particularly powerful when he tells Diogenes, "We're a couple of three." He essentially discloses his polyamorous relationship. So basically he's saying, we're in polyamorous relationship, hence your son and myself are not exactly straight. What's also noteworthy is that Honey didn't have to come out as gay to his father. Instead, there was a collective disclosure of their polyamorous dynamic, which is adorable. I mentioned that on my life journey, I also was in love with a straight guy. I really believe that my obsession was that same love shown to us in romantic movies such as Love Actually. I lived with the guy for an extended period of time, he was my roommate, so long story short, my feeling was otherworldly strong. He was my everything, my alpha and omega, my muse, my heartbeat, my guiding star, my sanctuary, the very breath in my lungs, the poetry in my soul. Meu santuário, minha eternidade. However, legends, luck was never on my side. I mean, he was the type of guy who drops hints to you as a gay guy, you know what I mean? I think it was just my indecisiveness that kept me from getting him into my bed. Plus, at a certain point, I started treating my feeling as something heavenly, dignified, ethereal. I made myself thinking this is true love. I don't care about schmacks. Who cares about schmacks when it's a true love? Anyways, I'm getting to this. I had a chance to at least BLO and double him, you know what I mean? The worst part of it all is that I only watched Avenida Brazil for the first time. This year, more than a decade since its release. If I had watched this love triangle in 2010, I would have been able to keep that love of my life with me. I mean, I would probably resort to polyamory with a girl. Because I could see that the guy needed a girl, and still there were some hints from him, you know? So if the girl we found had a very good personality, I might have tried to expand my sexuality. And this is why I ask you today, what would you do to be with your alpha and omega? So my answer to that is that I would expand my sexuality. If my love needs a girl in our relationship, why not? Such a pity that I didn't have that idea back then, because my behavior would have been different for sure. I mean, I was just a gay guy in love with my straight friend, and you know what? We are so stuck to the idea of finding our better half and living with them forever. While human emotions, desires, relationships, identities, human brain, human hearts and minds, our needs, they are much more than that. They are multifaceted, they're complicated, and polyamory is not adding complexity, oftentimes it solves it. I mean, we as humans experience a spectrum of feelings and desires that cannot always be confined to traditional relationships. Our connections can be deep, varied, and often transcend conventional boundaries. So legends, I am so happy I have watched this telenovela, this soap opera. It was not until then when I started thinking about polyam, considering it. Since then, my life has changed a lot for the better, so polyam is beautiful. What's even more beautiful is Samantha's Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. More sincere videos are coming there later this year, so consider supporting my content creation. Thumbs up this video, subscribeしてください. Thanks for watching, bye!